This is all the love I had. I can't get it back, I won't get it back, Gave all the love I had. One motherfucking three, nigga. I can't get it back, I won't get it back, This is all the love I had. I can't get it back, I won't get it back, Gave all the love I had. One motherfucking three, nigga. I can't get it back, I won't get it back, This is all the love.
Yo, what up, freight chasers? Hey man, come on in. It's time for story time, alright? Damn trucker tales. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know over here, we gonna give you the good, bad, and the ugly. Because it's important that before you hop into this business, you understand every pitfall that could be coming for you, alright? And one of the most important ones is maintenance and breakdowns. Because it's inevitable. Me, I come from a maintenance background. I worked on airplanes in the military. I understand that no matter how new a part, no matter how sophisticated a system, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Even if you do all your proper preventative maintenance, you still gonna have breakdowns on the road because that's the nature of the beast. All right? So you know, this your boy Monte. Raw Trucking, we give you the game raw. So now we about to get into a personal story of mine, and I'm going to show you how these situations work out, and hopefully you can take some gain from this if you pay attention to what I'm saying. All right. So as you saw in the intro video, had a truck breakdown. My driver, he had just dropped the load in Midland, Georgia. As some of you know, I'm located in Georgia. Okay. So he dropped the load in Midland, Georgia. Our operations manager, TT, had him set up for his next load. He gets to a town called Whitesville, Georgia on 185. He calls me and says, hey, I ain't got no air pressure. Part of my trailer is kind of stuck in the highway lane. Obviously, we got a big problem. So let's stop right here. If you're the type of person that you buckle under pressure, or you don't handle tough situations well, do not get into trucking, okay? Because you're going to be put in positions all the time to do things just like this. And you got to be able to think quickly on your feet and not let the panic overcome you, all right? Because, of course, you don't know how much money you're going to have to spend. You don't know what's going to be the outcome of this. You're in the middle of nowhere. The truck literally broke down in Whitesville, Georgia. Now, no disrespect to my white subscribers. You know it's all love over here. But you know, as a black man, any place named Whitesville, anything, is the last place you want to be breaking down at nighttime at that. Because when he called me, it was probably like 5 o'clock. It's about 5 o'clock. So now, what do you do, right? So look, luckily, this spot was about an hour and a half from me personally, all right? And it had already built a networking relationship with a mechanic who serviced part of this area, all right? Shout out to Renard Truck Mobile Service, mobile diesel mechanic, bro out of Augusta. He came through and got me right. I really appreciate that. I told bro I was going to shout him out and let him know because for any of you out there who already own equipment, you know some of these mechanics will take you up through there, bro, and turn a simple repair into a nightmare. Okay? That's why, for you owner ops out there, I always tell y'all you need to understand the business of trucking, which means more than just driving the truck. You need to know what type of parts and where can I get parts for my truck. You need to know how to find out the pricing on these parts, okay? Because you get out of bounds and you in an area you never been through before, so you haven't networked in that area to have a mechanic that you can call when you need something. So now Joe Blow Mechanic Shop in the middle of nowhere, they know they got you. Because by the questions that you're asking and the desperation that's all in your voice, they know they can tell you almost anything and you gonna go for it. And they already prey on us because they figure we getting all this money, right? So if you don't know these things going in and now they tell you anything. So for example, let's say the part really costs $250, but they tell you $350, and they do that for every part that you need and put a markup on it. That adds up. You see what I'm saying? Man, listen, people play a lot of games. So let's get back to my story. Okay, so the breakdown happens. My driver calls me. He says, hey, I'm not sure what's going on. I've lost all air pressure. Help me out. Let's see what we can do. So obviously when he tells me that, I'm thinking air pressure, maybe it's nothing that's too bad. Let's get roadside assistance out there to let them assess the situation. All right. Roadside assistance pulls up about an hour or so later. He gets under the truck and checks everything out. He finds out that it's the rear drive shaft. Rear drive shaft, the U-joint snapped, came off, tore up one of the airbags, leveling valve, and a whole bunch of lines connected into the relays and miscellaneous parts, right? So at this point, okay, we know what the situation is. Now we got to do something about getting it from this current position because we know it's not just a simple air problem no more. We're going to have to get this truck worked on somewhere else. All right, so now have to call a tow truck out. Tow truck comes hours later. It was probably like 10, 11 o'clock when the tow truck showed up. Well, since the drive shaft is snapped, they have to cage the brakes to be able to keep this truck to move safely because of the drive shaft being messed up. Okay? This is a longer process. So my driver, shout out to my driver, Justin, man. He a soldier because drivers, you play a role in this as well. All right? You have to let us know what's going on. You are the eyes and the ears of the situation. The owner won't be there. And if you are the owner and the driver, this is definitely important for you because all you can rely on is yourself. So you got to be quick on your feet and you got to be able to think. And you got to have the knowledge and the balls to stand up to these mechanics, these tow companies, because they'll rob you blind. So let me tell you what happened here. So they finally get my guy towed. They don't even want to take the payment at night. Driver has a credit card. He can make the payment. Tow truck driver said, hey, because he didn't get done till like 3, 4 in the morning. All right. So he was like, hey, don't worry about it. We'll come back and get the payment in the morning. So now it's time for my driver to have home time. So we got to go get him sent home to Tupelo, Mississippi. He wasn't too far from Columbus, Georgia, so there was flight options, but the times were crazy. So we ended up finding a hungry taxi driver to take him from basically Columbus, Georgia to Tupelo, Mississippi. All right, he did it too for about a little over $500. All right, so to keep these things in mind, let's add up some costs. So the roadside mechanic, he came out and charged $5 and some change. The tow cost $600. All right, this is before a single part was even bought. Okay, then had to send the driver home because I knew this was going to take a couple days before I could get the situation handled. So that now you got all those expenses. We well over $1,500 before a single part has been bought. Okay, so then now we got the driver's safety taken care of, got them squared away, got the truck safely squared away. Okay, so now we got to get this bad boy fixed and on the road because driver want to make money. We need to make money off that truck. It just can't sit, right? So the tow truck company, remember I told you they had to cage it to tow it. So they took off the front drive shaft as well. Nothing was wrong with the front drive shaft, but this is what they needed to do to tow. So when I show up, I finally got touch with Renard. He says, hey, bro, look, I got some transmissions to knock out. Because this happened on a Wednesday. I hit him up immediately. He was like, man, I got some transmission work. I should be wrapped up by Saturday. So let's aim for Monday. So I verified with him Sunday. He said, yeah, bro, we good to go. I meet him out there Monday. He on time. We get straight to it. As we're looking around, we see some of the parts that they left. We see the front drive shaft. There's no rear drive shaft. So now I'm thinking, let's look around, see if we can find it. Maybe they put it in the truck. Who knows? Long story short, it wasn't there. So now I have to call around to the two people I know who may have it. Started with the tow truck company because I know they're the one who caged it. They said, hey, look, all we did was take off the front drive shaft and we left it strapped to the catwalk, which it was. So I was like, they don't sound like they have it. It had to be the Roadside Assistance. Sure enough, call Roadside Assistance and they tell me, they knew what I was talking about right off the bat, but the details didn't sound right. They was like, hey, yeah, we sent your drive shaft off to be rebuilt and it should be 2 weeks. And instantly my heart dropped. But then I thought, I didn't give y'all permission to send off my drive shaft to be rebuilt. It didn't need to be rebuilt. The U-joints broke on the drive shaft, not the drive shaft itself. It was still fine. So I said, hold on, what's you guys' address? Let me come see this in person. So I go drive. They're about 14 miles away. They were on the, Columbus area. Georgia is basically close to the state line of Alabama. So they were in Phoenix City area, Alabama. So I go pull up on them, little small office. The receptionist is there. She shows me the work order. Right when I saw the work order, I knew this wasn't for my truck. So she was like, oh, I think I got you confused. So she finally pulls up my record. And the damn drive shaft is in the back of their mechanic's truck, 30-something miles away. So this is around noontime when I'm there. My mechanic's already here. He drove 3 hours to come do this work for me. So me not being able to get the part is unacceptable. So they say, hey, if you can wait around till about 3 or 4, he'll be back to the shop. Of course, time is money. I hopped in the car. I went down there and got the drive shaft. Once again, shout out to Renard. This is the importance of good networking and relationships. Renard went and got all of the other accessories needed to complete the job and paid for it out of his own pocket before I even gave him any money. He went and rounded up all the parts while I was going to go get the drive shaft. Now, anybody who knows how this stuff works, that's very rare. That's very rare to have a mechanic like that. He brought me the receipts, showed me exactly what he paid, got everything scrounged up. So we basically met back up not too long after each other, and brother knocked the work out for me. But those people with the drive shaft, they were trying to keep it so that way they can guarantee themselves to do the work. See, these type of games happen on the road. All you drivers out there who can relate, please let these guys know in the comments how some of these mechanic shops get down, bro. And these roadside assistance companies and all, they will literally rob you. Literally. Highway robbery. No BS. All right. So if you're not on top of your game and you're just in panic mode, you don't know the parts of your truck and how to find pricing on them, that can leave you in a bind. Because I said, you're going to be in these situations, fam. There's no way to avoid this. All right. So you need to, if you know you run certain regions, you need to be building relationships with somebody you can trust in each of these regions. So that way, when this happens, you know who you can call. All right. So the message for the day is know your truck. So when something happens, you can go and source parts and know the price yourself. Okay. And 2, build relationships. When you run across a good mechanic, you make sure that you get their contact information, send them work, and make a building relationship with them, because I promise you're going to need them. All right. You're going to need them. There's no way around it. And drivers, do your best to be familiar with the truck. So that way you can help identify problems, because you are the first line of defense. If I got a mechanic come out there and you're there too, and they tell me something, but you can see with your eyes it's not true, we need that as owners, because most of these guys are going to try to get over on us. All right. So it's important that we work together as a team. All right. Ain't nobody out here who's a real owner op who ain't willing to pay a good mechanic. This ain't a bash mechanics, but this is the truth of trucking. It's predatory, man. All right. I've seen guys, I've had this happen to myself Well, I got a guy I call for a part. He tells me damn near double than what the price. And I call the same exact place that he's getting it from. Because, you know, it's not many diesel part places in most areas, especially if you're not in the metro area. So it's not many places they're going to be able to source their parts from. But they know that some people are so ignorant to this part of the game, they can pretty much tell you anything because they know you just want to get your truck back running. All right. So, hey, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, with Raw Trucking, we're trying to give you the game and help you prepare for these situations. Paying for some of these monthly roadside assistance companies is really a waste of money because they don't have coverage in every area that you may need it. All right. So you need to know how to recover your damn self. All right. Which means knowing how to call these places, knowing how to negotiate, and don't take no shit from them because they will put you in a bind. All right. But you got to be tough out here, fam. You got to be tough. This is not for the weak. We all take losses out here. Some of us are just more transparent than others. So I want y'all to learn from this situation. Take heed and be prepared. Don't just think I'm going to run, and never be in that situation. I don't care how prepared you are. It's going to happen. All right. And the more mechanically inclined you are as the owner or the driver, hell, even in logistics, you need to know about some of these things in trucks so that way, because you may be the one who's calling to help them get service, to help that driver get off the side of the road. So it just makes sense to at least know basic components or at least know where to find this information and who you can call that you can rely on. All right. So once again, man, shout out to Renard Truck Mobile Repair Service. Brother came through for me in the clutch. Raw Trucking, we appreciate that. And every other good mechanic out there, man, if you got a good mechanic, show him some love. All right. You know, we all need each other. There's no need to play games in this industry. So, hey, that's my time for today, y'all. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel. Y'all been showing major love. That's what makes me keep coming to drop this game on y'all. All right. Keep it up. Tell a friend. Drop some content in the comment section. Tell these folks about your stories and how you had mechanics trying to beat you over the head or roadside assistance. And also, shout out your mechanics in your areas. Let's network together. Wherever you from, if you got a good mechanic in your area, leave their information down here so we can all help each other. All right, with that being said, I'm out. Y'all keep chasing that bag and stay safe on these highways and byways. Peace.